The public sector, on the other hand, are motivated not by returns or profits when planning a project, but on whether it offers better value for money than the alternatives. To find out more about the process from their point of view, we've come to Halifax, where the local National Health Service Trust is busy negotiating a PFI deal for a new hospital.
It would be wonderful to have a modern building. This used to be a poor law hospital and still retains that image if you go down into the basement, which is quite a large area of activity. It's absolutely awful.
The cost of bringing the Trust's 3 ageing hospitals up to scratch is put at £54 million. Much of this expense will be avoided if the PFI project goes ahead, as 2 of the 3 hospitals will be closed. Services such as radiology will be consolidated onto the one remaining site where the new hospital will be built.
Right, so if you take a breath in now and hold your breath.
Going from 3 hospitals to 1 will reduce the duplication of costly resources, and it's hoped some of the inefficiencies of working across several sites.
An example of this is the anaesthetic department. We have to have staff who are down at the general and staff at the infirmary, and they're not being utilised fully because they have to be in a location. And there are an awful lot of site issues that would be addressed by being on a single site. So it's not necessarily the structure of the hospital that would be better by being on a single site, but we'll be much better able to provide modern practice by being on a single site. But in fact, there have been a lot of reservations, and one of the main reservations is that we are going to have to shrink bed spaces. A lot of people have said that the sacrifice isn't worth making in cutting down the bed spaces when we're tight for beds already. And there's been some opposition to a new hospital, but I think the consensus is that most people feel that we need a new hospital.
In fact, plans for a new hospital in Halifax have been around for 30 years, stalled by the chronic shortage of cash for capital expenditure. Up until now, that is.
I think we'd had a very frustrating time trying to get public sector capital to make that happen, and we'd always kind of been a runner-up. Private finance came along, and frankly, when I joined the Trust, I knew about it, but I wasn't aware of, if you like, the impact that it was really going to have. We've really moved up a gear, a pitch, if you like, in terms of now saying we're going to fight for a new hospital for Calderdale, and we're going to get it through private finance. Some people will say, not sure I like it, but then will recognise it is our only prospect. And as far as I'm concerned now, the clock's really ticking. We're in the first batch of schemes approved by the new government. We've got to make it happen. I think if we fail this time, in a sense, Halifax, Calderdale probably won't ever have a new hospital. And there are 200,000 local people that, really need a local service.